So although Cyber Monday and Black Friday has come and gone, a lot of these brands are still honoring that pricing throughout the entire holiday season. So what I put together here is 7 gift ideas for those tech lovers in your life. Let's get into it. So in this video, I didn't want to go with price categories or even categories of types of products. This is more so for those techies in your life that you're looking to get some gifts for. And I wanted to start off with one case in particular called the A16 by a company called Aulumu for your iPhones. And they make this for an abundance of different iPhones and not just the iPhone 16 lineup. But what I like about this and what the angle is with this one is that you do have some perforations on the rear of it that does act as some sort of passive cooling. But the cherry on top for here is that there is a silicone plate on the back that kind of uses the same tech that you would think of from those mood rings back in the day, and there is a little bit of a different color on the rear of it that does change color based on the temperature of your phone. So the warmer it gets, that little sliver of color will change, and same thing when it does cool down, it'll change again. Now again, this isn't a perfect science, it's more so of a cool and wow factor versus something that's super accurate, but it does tend to work and it is fairly accurate because the warmer it gets, you do see that change of color. So this is the A16 vegan leather case, and they do have some other materials to choose from. I just prefer this vegan leather one. Again, the A16 by Aulumu. I do recommend it for those techies in your life. This next one is going to be all about nostalgia and going down memory lane, and it's for those people that maybe like to have, you know, your Game Boy emulators on the ready. Now this is by a company called Analogue, and this is going to be their Analogue Pocket. Now for all intents and purposes, this is the 2024 version of the Game Boy Color. Everything that you would want out of a Game Boy from back in the day has been 2024ified, from getting a much larger screen, to the screen having a resolution that's 10 times the original Game Boy Color, to having USB-C to charge, having endless battery life basically, and having the ability to play physical Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games. Because again, we've seen emulators from your iPhone having an emulator, now with Delta being available on your iPhone, to dedicated emulators that you can buy off of Amazon, but this one can actually play your old school Game Boy game. So as you can see here, I have Pokemon Crystal already installed on here, and I'm playing the actual game in the actual save file that's on this cartridge. But again, this can also be used as an emulator because there is a micro SD card slot if you want to use it that way. Now this is a little bit more on the expensive side, and as of right now, the only color available is the black colorway. This red one that I was able to get when it dropped earlier this year is now worth almost $400 on the secondary market. But the black one is another one that I do have that I use very often, and it works amazing. The buttons are clicky, you have the directional pad, everything works as intended, and it just kind of, again, brings everything back from a nostalgia standpoint and 2024ifies it, bringing it up to today's standard. So if you do have somebody that still kind of enjoys their Game Boy and still likes to play Pokemon and things like that, I do highly recommend this as a nostalgic factor gift, because as I mentioned earlier, you can download the Delta emulator for free on your iPhone and get those games for free as well. This is more so to be able to play those traditional games. Now some more practical accessories or tech gift ideas. The one that I'm going to go with here for a headphone and over-the-ear headphone has to be the Sonos Ace. These released earlier this year, and I am absolutely in love with it. Now I know the Sonos application has gotten some heat because of the way that it changed and things like that, but for the most part, once I did set these up, and you don't even need to download the app to set these up, but I did set them up, I did update them, and then after that, I'd never really used the app whatsoever, but I love these because they're lightweight, they feel premium, they're very, very, very comfortable, and they're cheaper than AirPods Max. You still have that multi-point solution, and I am a Sonos Arc user, which means that I'm able to listen to the audio coming out of my Sonos Arc and move it over to my Sonos Ace headphones. So if you are in the Sonos ecosystem at all, these could be worth a look. Like I said, the ear cups are super comfortable, they're removable. I've used them for working out and things like that. They're not meant to be used for working out, but they still work if you do need them to. And overall, I just love the package, the sound quality, the awareness mode, the active noise cancellation. It's pretty much top tier at this price point. So if you guys are looking to gift a pair of over-ear headphones for somebody, these are definitely the way to go. The next item I want to bring up is a mechanical keyboard by Satechi. This is the SM1, and it is a very low profile mechanical keyboard that still gives you all the oomph and clickiness of a mechanical keyboard while trying to keep it as slim as possible. Now I'm somebody that doesn't really like mechanical keyboards to begin with because they're a little bit taller and they're a little bit more tedious to use when typing, especially when typing for a long period of time. So this is perfect for those people that maybe they want to get into mechanical keyboards because they look nice, and from a clicking standpoint it is very satisfying, but they still kind of like to have their chiclet style keyboards like I do. This is that perfect middle ground, and I've been using this for about 2 months exclusively now because I wanted to teach myself how to use a mechanical keyboard and get used to it, and this one has been absolutely amazing. It can connect up to 3 different devices, charges via USB-C, it even has that 2.4 gigahertz connector that you can plug directly into your computer for even less latency, even though there isn't really much latency at all to begin with, and it has all these awesome different illumination factors and backlighting settings. So this mechanical keyboard by Satechi is one that I'm going to recommend over and over again especially for those people that don't want to take that full plunge yet into the mechanical keyboard world. The next item I'm going to recommend has this cool wow factor because it has a translucent design, and it's going to be the Dockase Explorer by Dockase. And this is a 10-in-1 USB-C hub. I think they also make an 8-in-1 and a 6-in-1 in the same kind of style and form factor. And this one has everything you would need out of a portable USB-C hub. You have a PD port that supports up to 100 watts of power pass-through, you have an HDMI 2.1 port, a display port, a USB-A port that transfers up to 480 Mbps, you have a gigabit Ethernet port for hardwiring in your internet, then you also have a USB 3.2 Gen 2 port in the USB-C form, you have another one in the USB-A form, you have another USB-A, a slower USB-A mostly for charging instead of data transfer speeds, and then finally you have a SD and micro SD card slot for all of your data transfer needs. And what makes this great for techie lovers is twofold. One is a translucent design, but then two is going to be that 1-inch by 1-inch LCD display that lets you get real-time diagnostics of what is being plugged in, what is connected, what type of data transfer speeds you're dealing with, which I think is awesome to take into consideration and look at. So you can actually see how fast things are charging, you can see how fast things are transferring, and you can even see the type of monitor that you have plugged in via the HDMI or USB-C port. Two more items that I wanted to bring up. The first one's going to be a portable display, and I've talked about this one before, so I'm not going to harp on it too much, but it's going to be Espresso's brand new 15-inch portable display that they've had around for a little while now. But two big things that they did here, one of them is that they created a brand new stand, which allows you to not only have the stand side by side on a laptop, but also rise the actual monitor up to be able to sit on top of your laptop in a portable fashion. So if you ever need to be on the go and work out of a WeWork or a coffee shop and you want to have that great angle of having a secondary display above your laptop computer, this stand is going to be amazing for that. But then the second thing they did was drastically reduce the price. So for $299, you get the display, which is a great 1080p display. And in terms of design language and thinness and build quality, there's really nothing else like this on the market. And secondly, it does come with that stand for $299 and of course a USB-C cable to be a one-plug solution. And what's awesome about this is that you doesn't need a secondary power source because it's drawing power from your laptop, which is awesome to see. And the last thing I want to bring up is going to be Kuxiu's Lamp, which you can see right behind me back here. And it comes in two different versions, this large one and then also the smaller one. And what I like about this is I like to have it as a backdrop because it's also an LED strip that you can move around and change the shape of it, and it's magnetic. It charges via USB-C, so you can have it hardwired in, or you can move it on the go and have it lit for a few hours at a time. So that one is going to be a nice little kind of stocking stuffer, if anything, especially for the smaller one, and something to add a little bit of ambiance and some kind of nice high quality aesthetic to whatever space you're putting this light in. But those are some of my favorite tech items that I wanted to recommend. Again, there's no real categories for this because I just wanted to put together my top 7 list of some of the best accessories and gift ideas that are still out there, especially at certain price points. And in my favorite, if I were to pick one of these, especially as a nostalgic gift, that Analogue Pocket is something that I've been using over and over again. I know it's been out for a little while now, but they continue to do drops in different colorways. There's this exclusivity to it. They're very expensive in the secondary market, so if you're able to pick one up directly from Analogue, I definitely recommend it because I believe it's $220 from one directly from them, but they do go a little bit higher, especially if you're able to get some of those special colorway drops. But that'll do it for this video. If you guys have some other recommendations, leave them a link down below. Maybe I'll check them out and put them in a future video. And if you guys made it to the end, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below so I know you made it to the end. And finally, if you want to watch more videos like this one, definitely check out one of these videos right here. And until next time, I'm Fernando, and I'm out of here, everybody. Peace.